Barcelona. A reminder, if you're just joining our coverage of this 2020 Intercontinental Cup, still to come this evening, we've got more round of 16 action. FC Porto of Portugal against the Canadian national team. We've also got Al-Fatah against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, like Inter Milan, one of the favourites to go on and win this tournament. And we round up our coverage tonight at 7:30 p.m. local time with Japan's Jef United against Levante of Italy. Elsewhere, I can tell you Celta Vigo are leading Arsenal by a 1-0 in their round of 16 match. And just to give you an idea of the time here, it's coming up to 10 to 5 in the late afternoon here in Dubai. A glorious day. The sun is shining, but it's now becoming a little bit milder to make it easy on the players, who, of course, have had to play 2 games per day. Al-Wada qualifying by virtue of finishing second in their very tough group, Group B. Largely thanks, of course, to that draw with Barcelona. But they're struggling here. David Baldassi, what a player he is. Shot comes in just wide. So we're approaching half-time, and Inter Milan leading Al-Wada by 3-0. They've just struggled really to get any kind of foothold in the game, Al-Wada. Inter have had enough chances to maybe be 5 or 6 in front at this stage. But 3 goals is a comfortable enough cushion, and we've seen plenty of teams turn on the start in the second half, and you get the impression if Inter want to go for this, they can win really convincingly. But they look set to qualify already for the semi-finals. If they win this, they'll be going through to a matchup against either Celta Vigo or Arsenal. Celta leading that 1-0. And that will be a quarter-final match for them tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. that we'll be bringing you live, I'd imagine. Waiting for confirmation of which pitch has which game. But if it was a clash between Inter and Celta, the defending champions, or Inter and Arsenal, it's pretty inconceivable that won't be on your screens tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. local time. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Inter 3 up, but there's still over 20 minutes to go, although we approach half-time. And at the moment, Inter are in cruise control. Throw in from the impressive Jamal Idrissu. He's really worked well down that right-hand side. Can Inter fashion one more chance before half-time? Idrissu back to the impressive skipper, David Balduzzi. Looked up and sprayed wide by Niccolò Artesani. And now Alessandro Chiardi, scorer of one of Inter Milan's goals in this. And he's trying to beat his man, which he finally does. And it's Chiardi into the box, but Al-Wada managed to clear. And that's half-time with Inter comfortably in front by 3-0. A brace from Matteo Mosconi and another one from Alessandro Chiardi. Al-Wada with it all to do. Inter look set for the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup. Remember, if Al-Wada lose this, they'll go straight into the quarterfinals of the Silver Cup. Half-time here, Inter Milan 3, Al-Wada 0. The second half on the way. And don't forget, in around about 40 minutes' time, we can enjoy FC Porto of Portugal against the Canadian national team. Then at 6:30 local time, on OnePlay's Facebook page, it'll be Al-Fatah against Bayern Munich, and at 7:30, Jef United against Levante. Stay with us. 3-0 into halftime here. So second half about to get underway. Inter Milan have been out there ready to go for about 3 minutes. Head coach of Al-Wada, Brahim El-Hamdi, plenty to say to his team. They're going to face a mountain climbing exercise here. Inter making wholesale changes, so we'll get a chance to see their strength in depth. Incidentally, at half-time in the other round of 16 clash in the Gold Cup, Celta Vigo leading Arsenal by a goal to nil. And at half-time in the Bronze Cup, Shabab Al-Ali 0, Al Nassr 0. That is a quarter-final match in the Bronze Cup. Our referee, all the referees have done a great job this week, and our officials from the UAE Football Association. So let's see how to get on now. They've made those changes. There's no David Balduzzi, no Matteo Mosconi either, I don't think. So the players that put them 3-0 in front now having to rest up, with the coach assuming, I'm quite probably correctly, this game is won. Oh, that was an early chance for Inter Milan's Giuseppe Pandolo, I think it was over there, was it? Just, I get a read on who that player is over on the far side. Might be Michael Carbonara, actually. It might be Jelena Affronti. I'll get there in the end. He's certainly one of the half-time substitutes. The referee is not happy here. Is he marching them forward for dissent? I think he's marching them forward for dissent. Oh, there's going to be a card here. Well, this is the first card we've seen. Now, what colour? It's a red card. Oh, just what Al-Wada didn't need. The first red card we've seen on the coverage. And it's Al-Hamadi who's gone. He must have said something to the referee. And he is absolutely distraught. And the referee has sent him off for dissent. Well, it can only be something he said. And in one of the biggest moments of his young life, Al-Hamadi has seen red for dissent, and it's all going badly wrong for Al-Wada, the team that had the fairy tale against Barcelona yesterday. Their dream is turning into a nightmare here. Inter Milan in cruise control and now facing the 7 men of Al-Wada, as Al-Hamadi, who's absolutely distraught, still in tears now. And that deflection is well saved, but the follow-up is put away for a deserved goal from Jamal Adrissu just seconds after they went down to 7 men. It's been ruled out, that one, for offside, so that's some respite for Al-Wada. Apologies, I'm distracted by the distraught player from Al-Wada. El-Hamdi, of course, will miss the next game now as well for that. He's being escorted back to the dressing rooms by one of the coaching staff. He must have said something pretty bad, because the officials have not overreacted to anything in this tournament, and by and large the behaviour of all the teams has been excellent, but Al-Hamdi clearly said something in the native tongue. Of course, Al-Wada, a UAE club, and the referee's all from the UAE FA, and the referee didn't hesitate, so it must have been pretty bad. A lot of pressure on these boys. I don't want to make excuses for Al-Hamadi. I don't even know what he said, but it's a big moment for them, and they're obviously a little bit frustrated. At this stage, it's going badly wrong. And just to confirm, it is Jelena Affronti, the boy wearing number 7 there over on the far side, who's been a half-time substitute. Now, sweeping up at the back for Inter is Alessandro Nena. Gets it back to, I think that's Tommaso Moroni, who's now in goals for Inter. Another half-time change. Now bringing it forward is Alessandro Moranti. Inside to Filippo Serpelletti. Here is Affronti. It was a good challenge, and Inter unable to keep it in. It'll go out for a goal kick. So this game really has us over as a contest now, even if it wasn't over when it was 3-0 with 8 against 8. Al-Wada are going to do well to keep the scoreline down to 3-0. A man down. Celta now lead Arsenal by 2-0. So Arsenal look like they're heading to the Silver Cup. And it looks very much like we're going to see Inter Milan against the defending champion Celta Vigo live on One Play tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. local time here in Dubai. Oh, that's a good ball through. Needed a touch from Miskeen. And unfortunately, Miskeen can't keep it in. That was the best opening they've had, as Inter maybe start to take their foot off the gas and start thinking about their quarter-final match tomorrow morning against Celta. Here's Affronti. Affronti looks up and there's a slip, and I think they'll manage to keep this in, will they? Initially they did, but now it's out for a throw to Al-Wada. Now they're doing well, Al-Wada, playing with 7. I've enjoyed more game time in the Inter Milan half than when they were playing with 8, but maybe that's as much to do with Inter now relaxing a little bit now the work really here is done. So important they got that buffer in the first half to ease the pressure. That was Barcelona's problem against Al-Wada yesterday. They just couldn't find the second goal, and Al-Wada with that wonderful free kick from Castim took their chances. Here's Christian Arrigo. Oh, lovely play. Christian Arrigo squares it. Can anyone get on the end of it? Idrissu pulls it back to Carapaletti. And that's a good header to clear the danger for Al-Wada. And the throwing goes their way as well. It was good hustle. Nice work from number 23, Nasir. Nasir muscled out of it by Christian Arrigo. So 7 minutes gone of this 20-minute second half. Inter Milan unable to add to their 3-goal lead. They have had a goal disallowed for offside. And Jamal Idrissu, the unfortunate man there. His industry has been played every minute of this game so far. Probably deserves a goal. He's got time to get one. Oh, there's a stray arm. I think that was accidental from the Inter Milan player Moranti, but there's an Al-Wada player down. He's quickly back up on his feet. Credit to Cassim for not making too much of a meal of it. And the result is a free kick to Inter to be taken by Serpaletti. Heads up from Idrissu, but he's offside again. They're just getting a little bit slack, Inter. They're resting their big guns at the moment, with the most of their big guns, and I think they're just waiting for this game to finish now, and they've got about 10 minutes and change to wait. Oh, just unable to control it is Nasir, but he's looked quite lively and done a lot of work. The right back. Nice on the ball from Filippo Serpaletti. There's Alessandro Nena. Now driving through it to Affronti. Decides to go back, and Inter now just intent on keeping the ball, and who can blame them? Affronti. Oh, Affronti beats one man. Battling well at the moment, Al-Wada, and it's credit to the boys from the UAE that they've not let their heads drop here. Down to 7, everything's gone wrong for them. 3-0 down quite early on, but they're still showing plenty of spirit. Inter, though, surely will make this extra man advantage count shortly. Up next, we've got Porto against Canada for a place in the quarterfinals. It looks like it's going to be Inter Milan against Celta Vigo in the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup. Al Nassr have scored in their quarterfinal in the Bronze Cup. Shabab Al-Hilal 0, Al Nassr 1. Assistant referee flagging for a foul by Al-Wada. In to take this quickly, and the referee's let it go. Well blocked Putting his body on the line there is Hanafi. Now the giant figure marauding forward for Inter is Alessandro Nena. Straight at the keeper. And Alameri gathers it well. I'll say Alameri. I think that might be Al Mazuki actually. Al Mazuki had a good game against Barcelona. Now, they got some space in behind now into Alessandro Moranti. Looking for an option. Moranti goes inside into the area. They've got to be careful here, Al-Wada. And managed to clear it well. A spirited display in the second half continues. Now, shot from range. Well saved. But the follow-up is offside, I think. Well, no, it's been given. Given the goal, Alessandro Morante making it 4. So 4-0 to Inter Milan. Apologies, I was unsighted there because the Al-Wada bench were up on their feet, protesting, I think. But good work there from Inter Milan and Christian Arrigo with Alessandro Morante getting his name on the score sheet. Nine minutes to go and this game is over as a contest, and it's going to be Inter Milan against Celta Vigo live on One Play Sports, 9:30 tomorrow morning, Dubai time. With Celta leading Arsenal by 2-0. The way Arsenal have been playing, I can't see a way back for them in that one. They'll be going into the Silver Cup quarter-final tomorrow, where they'll be playing, as I understand it, but subject to confirmation, this team here, Al-Wada. Not sure if that's redrawn, that competition, or whether that will be the game, but we'll confirm that for you in the morning. Change on the way for Al-Wada. Ali Afari is about to come on, and he'll be replacing Kasim, the boy that scored that wonderful free kick yesterday to give Al-Wada a draw against Barcelona. So they'll be out the Gold Cup after this, but they've had an incredible tournament, and who's to say they won't make a run in the Silver Cup? They'll have to do without the services of Al Hamadi for at least one game. It remains to be seen what he did say to the official that led to a very instant straight red. Probably didn't help his cause, so the referee is from the UAE as well, who understood exactly what he said. They get a free kick here, Al-Wada. Inter about to make another change now. Who's this coming on? I believe it's Nicolo Artesani, and he can play as he replaces the impressive Jamal Idrissou, who had a goal disallowed, but has nevertheless had a really good 34 minutes or so of action. Change for Al-Wada. Al-Sanani is also coming back on as soon as they can get the referee's attention, but the free kick is a shot at goal that's easily gathered by the Inter keeper, who I believe at this stage now is Thomas O'Maroni. Here's Alessandro Moranti. He's had an impact in this second half. Out to Alessandro Chiardi. Now Affronti. Out wide. Nice one-touch stuff this from Inter. Well played by Serpoletti. Gets it to Christian Arrigo. And Al-Wada managed to clear again. Twisting and turning Giuliano Affronti, and goes back to his keeper. Confirmation the keeper is Thomas O'Maroni. Can Inter add a fifth, which would probably be a fair reflection of their superiority here, notwithstanding the fact that Al-Wada has been playing with 7 for most of the second half. Six and a half minutes to play here. Inter 4, Al-Wada 0. It's going to be an Inter Celta Vigo quarter-final. Inter, the favourites to win this tournament on what we've seen so far. Certainly one of them up against the defending champions. That's a mouth-watering quarter-final live for you on One Play tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Dubai time. Here's Affronti as Inter go hunting for a fifth. No urgency, and why should there be so when they've got this big lead? Serpoletti was looking to try and link up with the substitute Artesani. Nasir with the throw to Al-Janibi. No, throwing's gone the other way. I think Nasir thinks it's Al-Wada ball. It's into Milan's. Affronti. He's looked very sharp since he's come on, and you can just see they've got that extra yard of pace into Milan. Out wide, space for Christian Arrigo. Is he the man to register the fifth? He's trying to create the space for a shot. Well blocked initially by Alice Nanani, but it comes out again and straight at the keeper by Christian Arrigo. A right tangle there. He's going to be penalised as the Al-Wada player. Shrug at the shoulders from the offending Al-Mazami. Now trying to spray it out wide is Nena. And he's found a man as well in Pandulo. Haven't seen much from Pandulo today on our live coverage at any rate, but he's having an influence there. Tiardi. Good challenge from Al-Wada, and they managed to clear their lines as we enter the final minutes of this round of 16 clash in the Gold Cup. Al-Wada looking to bring on Al-Harbi. Here's Serpoletti. Serpoletti comes out to Christian Arrigo. Moranti. Twisting and turning Alessandro Chiardi. Serpoletti, they're just toying with Al-Wada now, aren't they? And credit to the boys from the UAE, they're still running their absolute hearts out. And that was great hustle for Al-Mazami. Really good hustle to come away with the ball there. And Inter Milan needing 3 players to get the ball off him. So they've kept on hustling and trying all the way through Al-Wada, despite the scoreline meaning it's a lost cause. That's a lovely turn from Moranti. And now out wide to Arrigo. They've held their line well, Al-Wada down to 7. Shot is easily blocked from Chiardi. Here's Arrigo. Now who's in the box trying to get on the end of this for Inter Milan? Serpoletti. And that's a good challenge. He's been really impressive, young Nasir, the 23, with the big mop of hair. Easily distinctive as we get the changes. On come Al-Harbi and Al-Nuami as well. So Inter Milan going to play this short and then try and attack the penalty area. That's a nice drawback. A good shot as well. What a goal that is. Christian Arrigo knew exactly what he was doing there, and Inter make it 5 with a stunning goal from a short corner routine. And you can see the way Inter aren't really celebrating any of these goals. It doesn't mean anything to them. They just got their eyes on the prize of winning the trophy. A very professional performance from Inter Milan. And they are going to be through to tomorrow's quarter-final, where they'll meet Celta Vigo, unless Arsenal can pull out a miraculous miracle, trailing 2-0 as they are currently on the other pitch against Celta Vigo, the defending champions. The defending champions will have their work cut out against Inter tomorrow, that's for sure. Christian Arrigo cuts inside. Oh, that's a nice touch. Sprayed out wide by Ciardi, and the latest effort goes over the bar. So, we've seen 2 from Mosconi, 1 from Chiardi, 1 from Moranti, and an absolute beauty from Christian Arrigo to give Inter Milan the 5 goals that are going to take them through to the quarterfinals. A reminder, coming up next in just over 15 minutes' time, we've got Porto against Canada. FC Porto of Portugal against the Canadian Select squad. It's well played from Affronti, winning the ball in midfield. Well, that was a late tackle the referee's played on from Al-Harbi. Christian Arrigo, the scorer of that great goal. And now Filippo Serpoletti. Nice play, looking for Artisani, who's onside. Artisani squares it, just couldn't get the finishing touch. Diving in there was Giuseppe Pandulo. Just couldn't get on the end of it. So last 30 seconds, I can't imagine the referee will have much time on here. He'll put Al-Wada out of their misery. Remember, Al-Wada will still go through to the Silver Cup semi-finals tomorrow, or Silver Cup quarter-finals, I should say, where I think if the draw is the same as the Gold Cup, they'll end up playing Arsenal, but we'll get confirmation on that. And we also need to confirm that Arsenal haven't staged a late comeback against Celta Vigo. Referee looks at the watch. And he blows for full time. 2 goals from Matteo Mosconi. 1 for Chiari, 1 for Moranti, and an absolute beauty from Christian Arrigo just before the full-time whistle of getting him into Milan, a place in the quarter-finals. They've beaten Al-Wada here by 5-0. We'll update you on the Celta Vigo Arsenal score shortly, and stay with us because in just 50 minutes' time, it's Porto and Canada for a place in the quarter-finals here at the 2020 Intercontinental Cup from Dubai Sports City, live on One Play. Welcome back live then to the Dubai Sports City, where we're about to enjoy as the sun starts to set. Our next round of 16 matchup, we have got Porto, who qualified out of Group A, taking on Canada, who qualified from Group D. And Canada, I've got a funny feeling they're going to give Porto a couple of problems here. They're a great team unit. Just been speaking to their coaching staff. It's a Canada select squad, and there's some real talent there. Look out for the likes of Joshua Nugent and Kevin KJ Khan, Nicholas Alfieri. They've got some good players, Canada. And Porto, been a stop-start campaign for them. They started with a 0-0 draw against Wakataki. Then they went down 2-1 to Inter, which after what we've just seen from Inter is probably not a bad result, before they finished their campaign with a 5-1 win that was routine against Al Nassr. But it will be very interesting to see how Canada cope with this. A clash of footballing cultures, the Americas against Europe, Porto in their famous blue and white, Canada in the red with black shorts, Porto playing from left to right in the first half, Canada playing from right to left. Our official from the UAE, all our officials from the UAE FA, getting ready to get our next round of 16 game underway. Incidentally, Celta Vigo did beat Arsenal, so it's Inter against Celta in tomorrow's quarter-final, 9:30 a.m. Dubai time, live on One Play. Here it's Porto against Canada, and they'll play the winners of the game. Also in progress on their other pitch, Barcelona against Pyramids of Egypt. Porto with possession early, but well won back by Carter Roach. Canada flying the flag, flying the maple leaf with pride here. Great to see the Canadian support in full voice, as well as a shot come cross is fired in by Porto's Jorge Santos. And they'll come up with a corner, Canada, here. That's straight out. We'll keep you up to date with the Barcelona score. That was a wasted corner from Porto. A reminder, because I think this game might be quite tight. We hope it is. Maybe get a good match-up. And referee accident, incidentally, actually has got a kick clash, hasn't he, with the Canada boys? The referee looks like he could be playing for Canada. He's also wearing red top and black shorts. If it is a draw after the 40 minutes, we will have a penalty shootout as that one comes loose. And it's claimed well by the Canada keeper, Rafael Prezzo. Yeah, so it's a little bit confusing. The only way you can tell them apart is the referee hasn't got a number on his back. Here's Rodrigo Mera. Nice touch. Leaving the ball behind was Rodrigo Silva. And that was a tough challenge from Callan Dubé, scorer of the big goal for Canada yesterday. And there's going to be a card here. Callan Dubé is going to be shown yellow. And I think, to be fair to the referee, he didn't have much choice, and it was late, and to make matters worse, it was right in front of the Porto bench as well, which probably didn't help his cause because they reacted with fury to that challenge. But he came up with the big goal for them yesterday when they beat Al-Wasl by a 0-0, Callan Dubé, and that's earned him his starting spot in the team today ahead of Josh Nugent, who's starting on the bench, and that doesn't look good for the Porto boy, does it? Let's hope he's okay. It was a late challenge, and I'm afraid it was worthy of a yellow card. Meanwhile, the free kick to Porto to be taken by Thiago Silva, as poor old George Santos takes a seat with that injury. George Santos, 4 Porto players up for this. Canada have got 5 back defending. It's a good delivery. They all come in. It's a scramble, and it's, in the end, sent wide. And that was more than a half chance. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Gonzalo Pinto who came up with the final effort on goal, as Callan Dubé is on a tightrope now with that yellow card. They have got the natural replacement on the bench for Josh Nugent, who I'm sure we'll see at some point. Oh, that was a good challenge that time. Canada playing with real aggression and great team spirit, the Canadians. They've impressed many with their style and their sportsmanship throughout the course of the last 2 days. And remember, it's not here, even if they lose, they'll go into tomorrow's quarter-finals in the Silver Cup. So far, Inter Milan and Celta Vigo booking their places in tomorrow's quarter-finals. For the throw with Porto, it's Manuel Miranda. Here's Pinto. Porto with some space to run into now. Standing off a bit too much, Canada, at this point. Well, that was better from Kalan Dubé, who's playing a more defensive role today than he did when he came off the bench yesterday to score that winner. Spread wide is Thiago Silva. That's a chase for Miguel Rocha that he's not going to win, and it'll be a throw to Canada to be taken by Carter Roach, who impressed as well throughout the course of the first day's action. Here's Nicolas Alfieri. Need to be slightly careful passing it across the face of your goal, and you certainly can't give it away like that. Here's Manuel Miranda. He's laid it off, and it's a chance for Porto, and they're going to score. Rodrigo Silva lays it off to Rodrigo Mera. The boy that scored 3 against El Nasser gets the first goal here against Canada. And Porto lead by a goal to 0 inside 5 minutes. And the Canada head coach, Dwayne De Rosario, has seen enough, and Josh Nugent is going to be coming on, replacing Kalan Dubé, who picked up that yellow card. So let's see if Josh Nugent can improve Canada's fortunes. Straight away, Josh Nugent chasing that down. Now, this is a chance for Canada, the first real opportunity they've had to attack the Porto goal. We know the Canadians have got goals in them. And scored 3 across their 3 games so far. Over the ball for Canada is KJ Khan, young Kevin Khan. Will be looking to try and get this in the head of one of his teammates. It's a great cross as well. Keeper's come and missed it, and a chance for Canada in a mad scramble. But Porto get the free kick, much to the disappointment of Canada. And right up the other end, there's work for the Canadian keeper, Rafael Pezzo, to do, and he does well to clear that. And what's more, he's found a red shirt. Carter Roach, can he keep this in? No, he can't. And the throw goes the way of Porto. Oh, that back header is going to run straight into the path of the Porto boy. And Manuel Miranda has made it 2-0. Disaster for Canada. A defensive moment of madness, and from the quick throw that I think Canada thought they should have had themselves. Manuel Miranda has doubled Porto's lead, and we've only just played a little over 5 minutes. Look at the pace and the speed. He's still got a finish though, and that was a great finish. Rafael Pezzo, no chance. Well, Porto may have started this tournament slowly with that 0-0 draw against Wakataki, but they're finding their form at just the right time, and Canada with a mountain to climb now, a 2-0 deficit. And they've had a yellow card with Callum Dembe, who's since been substituted. A couple of decisions they thought might have gone their way haven't. And it's quite simply crucial they get the next goal now, Canada, if they're going to be competitive in this game. They'll keep on fighting, they'll keep on trying, we know that about them. But they've just been caught out by some ruthless finishing from Porto, and that will stand Porto being instead, because if there's one criticism from a couple of the big guns, and certainly it was the same accusation you could level at Porto in their early games, not taking their chances. Porto have had 2 chances and taken them both. Porto with Gonzalo Pinto getting another promising move going. They switch it to the right-hand side, and it's the scorer of their second goal, Manuel Miranda. But it'll be a Canada possession. Manuel Miranda. Oh, lovely play. Delightful from Rodrigo Mera. Manuel Miranda into the area, squares it. Canada do well to clear. And Porto will get a corner. But beautiful play from Rodrigo Mera. Scoring against Al Nassr yesterday. Mera, he's scoring against Canada today. We'll update you tomorrow as well about the leading goal scorer tables. It's quite hard to keep track of. Another shot comes in. Rafael Pezzo grabs it at the second opportunity. Yeah, the leading goal scorer competition is going to be interesting tomorrow as well. Bayern Munich have been scoring for fun, so I'd imagine there's a couple of German players in the mix for that. Alfieri with the clearance. Here's Duarte Nogueira. And that's a free kick one for Canada by Quinton Christie, who's another player that's looked really sharp throughout this tournament. Barcelona leading Pyramids by 2-0, so it's looking very much like it'll be Porto against Barcelona in the second quarter-final tomorrow. Meanwhile, back to Porto, Rodrigo Meira, the little magician down the right wing, trying to dazzle himself into the penalty area, and Rodrigo Meira muscled out of it, staying strong was Mateo Kozowski for Canada. So corner to Porto. They've had a couple of these already. Can they get this third goal before half-time that really would kill this game off? A third goal, and surely there's no way back for Canada. They take it short. Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva trying to get the angle. Josh Nugent putting the pressure on his Manuel Miranda. And that diminutive magician, Rodrigo Meira, now gets a great cross in, skewing his chances, Duarte Nogueira, but the shot comes in. And great save, Rafael Pezzo. He's not had much chance with the 2 goals they've conceded, Canada, but came to his team's rescue there. And what's more, Canada now have a free kick on halfway. Nice work from KJ Khan, and Josh Nugent's in the area here. Josh Nugent chasing it down. Good work from Porto's goalkeeper, Martin Pereira. Barcelona have gone 3 up against Pyramids now, so you can write their name in ink in the quarter-final bracket. Canada with a half chance with Emmanuel Capello. Oh, what an opportunity. Canada's best opportunity of the game, and they couldn't put it away. Well, the Porto coach showing a little bit of concern because Canada have been bright the last couple of minutes, but they've got defending to do now. Manuel Miranda's offside. I say he's offside and can't be offside, Kenny. That's my mistake. It's actually a free kick to Porto. My view was obstructed by one of our cameramen, but of course the offside, just to remind you of the offside rule, it's that 14-yard line just above the penalty area. That's the only part of the pitch where you can be flagged for offside. Manuel Miranda almost capitalising on a mistake. The Canadian Nathaniel Velasquez does well to recover, and Rafael Pezzo unable to prevent the corner. Manuel Miranda goes short. Another good delivery. Pressure just over the head of Miguel Rocha. And Canada will have a throw. Josh Nugent back to take. Nice touch from Nathaniel Velasquez, but again, they've got to be careful trying to play it out like this in the back. They've been caught out once or twice already. Here's Josh Nugent on a diving run. Still Josh Nugent. Great touch from Canada's number 9, and I think he went for goal there when he had an option to his right. Might have been better trying to put a teammate through there, and now there's defending to do with Manuel Miranda, who's terribly difficult to get the ball off. So all the credit in the world to Nicolas Alfieri, who managed to do just that. But they've been caught in possession again in their own final third. And Rafael Pezzo trying to bail them out. Quinton Christie trying to find Carter Roach. Dinked over the top, but Porto managed to clear. He's been a powerhouse in midfield, hasn't he, Manuel Miranda? coming up with that second-minute goal that gave Porto the lead before Rodrigo Mera doubled it. Porto finishing this half strong now. 6 minutes to play in the first half. It's still Porto 2, Canada 0. Barcelona leading Pyramids by 3-0. So one half of the quarter-final bracket taking shape. It's looking like it'll be Barcelona against Porto tomorrow. Spain against Portugal in one quarter-final. Italy against Spain in another. And don't forget, after this, there's still 4 quarter-finals to be played tonight. Real Madrid against Wakatakis over on the other pitch. But on one play at 6:30, we'll be bringing you Bayern Munich, who've looked very impressive so far against Al-Fatah. And Jef United of Japan against Levante Azuro. While the 2 Spanish soccer school clubs battle it out on the other pitch at 7:30. So Canada, let's see if they can just keep this at 2-0 to half-time, or maybe even nick one to put a bit of pressure on Porto at half-time. As it stands, Porto looking quite comfortable, and Canada at times struggling, as admirable as it is trying to play it out neatly from the back. They may be advised to try some Route 1 stuff at some point. Joshua Nugent with a quick throw. He finds KJ Khan, and KJ Khan tries to win the corner. Nothing doing, it's a goal kick. KJ Khan, nice layoff to Josh Nugent, and Josh Nugent will win a corner. So Canada from a set piece. 4.5 minutes to half time. A goal here for Canada would make it very interesting at the start of the second half, as the sun well and truly starts to set over the Dubai Sports City Stadium. I'm expecting the floodlights to come on very shortly. Sun is disappearing down under the horizon. KJ Khan, Josh Nugent up there, but the keeper does well. Martin Pereira hasn't had to do much for Porto in the competition so far that we've seen, but what he's had to do, he's done well. Now, Guillem Vitor, he looked like an absolute superstar when we saw him in Porto's 5-1 win against Al Nassr. The smallest player on the pitch. His shirt almost comes down to his kneecaps. Have a look at the shirt on number 11, Guillem Vitor. The shirt literally down on his knees. He's so tiny, but he's got any amount of skill. Obviously at this age, under 13s, the boy's developing physically, some faster than others. But if he can maintain that physique and balance as he inevitably gets a bit bigger, he's going to be a real player in the future. Nicolas Alfieri with a clearance. He's had an impact, Josh Nugent, since he's come on, I think. It's given them a bit more strength down this left-hand side. He needs a runner, though, at the moment. He gets to Kevin KJ Khan. And what's the referee giving here? A free kick to Porto. Looking mystified is KJ Khan. I think he's saying there was a grab of the shirt. The referee, very politely, Canada's coach Dwayne De Rosario asked the question and gets an answer from the referee. Still to come after this, we've got Bayern Munich in action against Al-Fatah. Really looking forward to that one. Al-Fatah of Saudi Arabia making their way into the round of 16 of the Gold Cup. Another chance to see this great player, Guillem Vitor, on the ball. To Rodrigo Esteres. Esteres going to try and switch this, because over on that far side, they've got Pedro Ribeiro in acres of space. Here's Duarte Nogueira. Inside to Esteres. Josh Nugent with the challenge. Esteres asking a question of Guillem Vitor, and Guillem Vitor does well to get that in, but that's a physical mismatch if ever I've seen one. Josh Nugent against Guillem Vitor. Free kick going the way of Porto, and they take it quickly. Quick thinking from Gonzalo Pinto. A third goal here, and it's curtains for Canada. They've got to try and keep Porto out. It's a hopeful dive, I think, looking for a penalty from Canada, from Porto, I should say. The Porto bench asking the question of the assistant referee as well, but none of the players or the officials interested. Oh, that's a good ball. And now he can see the pace of Canada's Carter Roach. He needs support. Gets it in the shape of Emmanuel Capello. Oh, but it breaks down oh so easily. Rodrigo Esteres takes it away for Porto, and that might be the last chance Canada get in this first half. Now Guillaume Vitor over his head. Well, this referee is it's a bit of a stop-start game, isn't it? He's doing it to both sides, so it's no question of any bias or anything like that, but not letting the game flow as freely as we've seen in some of the matches. End result is Canada have a set-piece opportunity. What can Kevin Khan do from here? Kevin Khan, not the worst delivery in the world, but it's Porto that get there first. Guillaume Vitor. Now, can he keep that in, Rodrigo Silva? No, he can't. So goals from Rodrigo Mera and Manuel Miranda. The difference between the two teams at the moment. Porto leading 2-0, but Canada still in there fighting. The CAF select squad representing North America excellently here in Dubai at this international tournament. 12 countries represented: Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Spain, Italy, Germany, England, Portugal. And of course our friends from the Oman and the Maldives. The referee signals the end of a first half that was really defined by two early goals for Porto. Manuel Miranda and Rodrigo Mera have given them a strong advantage at the break. They lead Canada by 2-0 at half-time in the other match. Approaching half-time, Barcelona leading Pyramids by 3-0. So it's looking like a Porto-Barcelona quarter-final, but can Canada produce some magic in the second half? They've had glimpses of opportunities. Let's see if they can take that one step further. Stay with us on One Play. The second half on the way of FC Porto of Portugal against Canada, and then we'll be bringing you coverage of Al-Fatah SC of Saudi Arabia against Bayern Munich. You're watching live coverage of the 2020 Intercontinental Cup on One Play. Second half underway here then. Porto playing from right to left in the blue and white. Canada need a strong start playing in the red and black shorts. Pyramids have pulled one back against Barcelona at half-time. It's 3-1 to Barca there, so is the unlikely Pyramids come back on. We'll keep an eye on that situation, but we'll concentrate, of course, here on the ZED pitch with Porto at the moment in control against Canada, who've got 20 minutes to save their Gold Cup chances. A loss here wouldn't be the end of the world. They join the losers of Barcelona and Pyramids along with Arsenal and Al-Wada in the Silver Cup, which will be played tomorrow. We hope to bring you some of those games as well. I think we'll be bringing you the semi-finals of the Silver Cup tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are one of the many people I know watching the one-play stream from Canada, make sure you check back with us tomorrow to see if we'll be able to, hopefully, from your point of view, bring you Canada in the semi-finals of the Silver Cup. And there'll be no forlorn hope there. In fact, I'd love to see Canada take on Arsenal. Oh, there it is. That's the game. That's the ball game. A stunning goal from Porto. And there's nothing really Canada can do about that. That's just absolute quality from Porto's Duarte Nogueira, the defender, gliding through the defence and finishing past Rafael Pezzo, who had no chance. Look at that. That is some goal. We've seen some beauties, haven't we? I'm sure Anu Bav and the one-play team who are out and about with the camera around the grounds will be compiling a highlight reel of all the tournament's best goals over the course of the 3 days of competition, and we've seen some absolute beauties. That was strong running from Thomas Gomez, and that's going to be another yellow card for Canada. Now, who's he showing this to? Is he showing it to... Who did he show that to? Was it Alferi? I think he showed it to Quinton Christie, I think, maybe. Let's check. That's the second time the director's played the replay, and I was too busy craning my head looking at the live action. I do apologise, but that's 2 yellow cards for Canada, and more importantly, a great set-piece opportunity for Porto to really rub salt into Canada's wounds and make it 4. Over it, Guillaume Vitor didn't dip down quickly enough. Yeah, confirmation from the Canada bench. It was Quinton Christie that went into the referee's book. And again, the stop-start nature of this game. There's been more free kicks in this game, I think, than any other one we've covered so far. Not saying it's the referee's fault. It might just be one of those niggly games, but it's certainly detracted a little bit from it as a spectacle. It's been stop-start. But just that extra quality from Porto is seeing them through at the moment. And that third goal from Duarte Nogueira, an absolute thing of beauty. And they're in again. And what's he given here? Is this a free kick right on the edge of the area? It is, I think. Canada now, that time through Nicolas Alfieri, getting very physical. And Guillaume Vitor is over to take this again. And I wonder whether he'll fancy chancing his arm once more. Yeah, no complaints there. That was a free kick all day long. So Guillaume Vitor. Looks like he's got plenty of tricks in his locker, this boy. Is he going to go for goal? It's in his wrong foot, I think. He's going to hit this with his right, so he might have to outswing this and look for the big figure of Duarte Nogueira, who scored 1-2 minutes ago. And he's looking like he's trying to make a run to get another now, and he's got a chance. He should have hit that. Duarte Nogueira had a real chance to have a shot on goal there and spurned it. Manuel Miranda now. And Porto just playing keep football, knocking it around well. Guillaume Vitor. The outside of the boot, lovely touch from Thomas Gomez. And another free kick. This referee's whistle, is it just me? Or is it going every 15 seconds, this referee's whistle? It's very stop-start stuff. Miranda. Manuel Miranda, great run. It's his number 4. It's off the post. Can they finish? No, they can't. Well, from the other flank, it was almost a carbon copy of the goal that Duarte Nogueira just scored. But it's all Porto now. As Canada get ready to make a whole host of changes, including introducing goalkeeper Tejpal Nijat. I can see Sarah Sitak is on the way, as well as Peter Plastina. First chance to see Peter Plastina on the one-play cameras. They'll be coming on to try and give Canada some fresh impetus in a game where at the moment now in this second half they really are being outplayed by Porto, who just seem to be improving as the tournament goes on. Here come those three changes. And amongst the players to take a seat will be Carter Roach and Quinton Christie. That's reached by Pedro Ribeiro and hat clear by Martin Pereira. In fact, now it's in goal now for Porto. Thiago Costa's taken over in goal for them. Remember, up next, with a start time of 6:30 local time, it's 6 p.m. now, 6:30 in half an hour. Al-Fatah of Saudi Arabia against Bayern Munich in their round of 16 clash. We've already seen Inter Milan through, Celta Vigo through, Barcelona 3-1 up against Pyramids, and Porto 3-0 up here against Canada and looking booked for a place in the quarterfinals. Well, that's a rare mistake from Manuel Miranda. Another free kick, another strong challenge, and that's Nicolas Alfieri. He's got to be careful. He's been booked already. Apologies, not Nicolas Alfieri. It was booked, was it? We got that cleared up. It was Quinton Christie, but Canada being very committed, and that wouldn't say at all that Canada are playing dirty, just being very physical as they're entitled to be, and that was a little bit more accidental than anything else. The Portuguese player does seem to be in some discomfort, Manuel Miranda. Coming on for Porto to replace Miranda is Rodrigo Silva. He'll receive treatment, Miranda over on that far side. And now on the charge when I get there is Thomas Gomez. He can't do it. And Canada will have a throw. 7 minutes into this second half, Porto 3 up and booked for the quarterfinals. Back to the keeper. He puts a real boot through that. There's Thiago Costa all the way through to Rafael Pezzo, who's now been replaced, of course, by Tejpal Nijat. So Tejpal Nijat with that first touch of the ball in the game for him. Be surprised if he doesn't have a few saves to make as well, the way Porto are starting to grow in confidence. Pedro Ribeiro to Rodrigo Silva. That's well won by Canada over there on that far side. Great work from, is that Ari Sitak over there? Now having to track back is Nathaniel Velasquez. Canada again in danger of getting caught out, playing it across the face of their own goal. But to be fair, Porto are just doing a great job of pressing them. And here we go again. And more good defensive work from Canada to get themselves out of bother there. Carter Roach trying to play in Emmanuel Capello, who hasn't been able to see much of the ball. Emmanuel Capello, we know he's got pace to burn, but they've just not been able to get in behind the Porto defence. Canada. That's laid off nicely from Rodrigo Silva, looking for Thomas Gomez. And Porto will get the throw. Change coming for Porto. A couple of them as well. Coming on to the field of play is Rodrigo Mera. Also Thiago Silva and Miguel Rocha. Oh, that was very calmly done. Lovely stuff with that Duarte Nogueira on the ball there. I think it might have been scorer of that stunning third goal. Good up front and rock solid at the back as well. Porto. It was Miguel Rocha with that particular touch, but they've got quality all through the ranks. And again, just to reiterate, they're one of these teams that's been improving all the way through. And if they continue this rate of improvement tomorrow, they're going to be a real challenge to Barcelona. Barcelona are certainly physically nowhere near as developed as Porto. And it wouldn't be the strongest under-13 side that La Masia has ever produced out there in Catalan country. Meanwhile, beautiful turn from Guillem Vitor. And another chance for Porto, hit the post for the second time in the second half. Well, hit the post, not just for the second time, almost hit the post in the exact same place as well. And this Guillem Vitor trying to tee up Rodrigo Mera, and just a post saving Canada from a 4-0 scoreline. Here they go again. Rodrigo Mera plays it into the middle, and that's well claimed by Tejpal Nijat. Inside the final 10 minutes. Is this the fourth? Yes, it is. Great finish, Rodrigo Mera. His second of the game. And Porto's fourth. So Rodrigo Mera is now on a hat-trick, and he's got 8 minutes to claim it. He was on a hat-trick, I seem to remember, against Al Nassr as well. So he's definitely going to be up there in Golden Boot contention, Rodrigo Mera. And he might get the chance for the hat-trick now. Rodrigo Mera, is he going to go for it or unselfishly look for a teammate? He was hassled out of it by the Canadian defence, who had to stand up very strong there. And it was a good bit of defending from Peter Plastina. Screaming for this is Miguel Rocha. They play it short. And again, good defensive work this time from Ali Sitak. Space to work with now. This is danger when there's space for Guillem Vitor. Porto pinning the Canadians back at the moment. Here's Thiago Silva. Guillem Vitor. Guillem Vitor saw the keeper off his line and went for what would have been an audacious fifth. You can see that Kalan Dubé is warming up to be reintroduced. Oh, look at the back flick from the two-goal man, Rodrigo Mera, and they come again and just over the bar from Thiago Silva. Goal kick taker for Canada by Carter Roach. Now, Porto really are looking strong now, aren't they? Guillem Vitor, particularly Pedro Ribeiro, has beaten one. Can't beat the second, though. And that's better from Canada. It was good work there from Nathaniel Velasquez. Some of these substitutes that come on for Canada are by no means disgracing themselves. And look at the pace of this man. Quinton Christie tries to play in Emmanuel Capello. But once more, Porto get it to the keeper in Thiago Costa. Now 6 minutes to go, and Porto can start turning their attentions to, I assume, Barcelona, who last we heard were 3-1 up against Pyramids. Look at that for a quarter-final lineup. Inter Milan, Celta Vigo, Porto and FC Barcelona on one half. And we've still got Bayern Munich to come in our third round of 16 match immediately following this. Kalan Dubé is indeed introduced once more. Taking a seat for Canada is Emmanuel Capello, who's just not had a look in really with the Porto defence looking so strong. And up the other end, they've been very useful as well. It's Thiago Silva over this. He's shaping, to me, like he's going to try and strike this sweetly with his right foot and make it 5. Oh, what a goal that is! What a goal from Thiago Silva. And Porto lead by 5. Couldn't have hit it any sweeter. And Tejpal Nijat, absolutely no chance. Look at this from Thiago Silva. think the keeper got a hand to it, but it was travelling at such pace he was never going to keep it out. 5-0 Porto with 5 to play. And remember, still, young Rodrigo Mera's on a hat-trick. And Rodrigo Mera might get it now! Super save. Super save from Tejpal Nijat to deny Rodrigo Mera the match ball. Lovely play once more. Guillem Vitor involved. Nice work from Thomas Gomez. And look at the pace shown by Rodrigo Mera. And fair play to Tejpal Nijat. What a save. And it goes again. Callan Dubé's there, and he's got support with Nicolas Alferi, who's bombed forward. So it's 2-on-2 for Canada all of a sudden. Can they get a goal? Their hustle deserves. They can't, but they might get a corner, and do. Coach wants Quinton Christie to take this, and he's trotting over to do just that. Nicolas Alferi will be there, and of course they've got the height of Callan Dubé, who I'm convinced is the tallest player in this tournament. You've got to be trying for the head of Callan Dubé here. He came off the bench to score yesterday. Callan Dubé's in the vicinity, but it's headed away well by Miguel Rocha for Porto. And then the shot comes in, and it's claimed by Thiago Costa. Up the other end, still chasing the hat-trick is Rodrigo Mera. Nicolas Alferi's covered some ground in this game. He's back helping out in the defence, having just launched a counter-attack moments ago. Callan Dubé. Is that going to run through to Saro Sitak? It is. And Callan Dubé's chasing it down, but the Porto keeper claims it. 3 minutes to go then. Porto 5 up here. The pick of the bunch. Well, there's been a couple of absolute pearlers, hasn't there? Rodrigo Mera's goals have been excellent. Manuel Badera's was good. Duarte Niguera's was absolutely exceptional. And that free kick from Thiago Silva up there with the best free kicks we've seen, right up there with Kasim's effort for Al-Wada against Barcelona in the group stages. And a reminder to check out all the video on demand content on the Facebook page to keep up with everything that's happening here, not just the live games. We've got the best of the rest of the action on the games we weren't able to bring you live. It was Quinton Christie manages to win the throw. Trying to beat his man is Canada's Saro Sitak. Over the top. Looking for Rodrigo Mera, who wants his hat-trick, doesn't he, Rodrigo Mera? He's determined to get it. But Nicolas Alferi's been so strong for Canada's defence all through this tournament. Leading from the front, the Canada skipper, and he does so again. Here's Thiago Silva, scorer of a stunning free kick moments ago. And that will drift out for a goal kick. So I think we might well have seen the last of the goals here. Porto are going through, where they'll face surely Barcelona. I don't think there's been any more goals that I've heard about in that game. And in just over 15 minutes' time, it's Bayern Munich against Saudi Arabia's Al-Fatah on this One Play Facebook page. One back. Canada with what surely would only be a consolation, but nonetheless great to see them on the score sheet. They deserve that, Canada, for their endeavour alone. That was Saro Sitak with the goal. Ari Sitak with the goal for Canada, right on full time as well. So fair play to the Canadians getting on the score sheet. They've gone down by 5-1, but all is not lost for Canada. They'll progress to the quarterfinals of the Silver Cup tomorrow. But for Porto, with an impressive display, improving all the time, goals from Rodrigo Mera, Thomas Gomez, a fine effort from Duarte Nogueira and a stunning free kick from Thiago Silva have beaten the Canadians by 5-1, and they progress to meet, we think, Barcelona tomorrow in their quarter-final in the Gold Cup. It's finished here, Porto 5, Canada 1, and stay with us in one play because in 15 minutes we'll bring you Bayern Munich against Saudi Arabia's Al-Fatah for a place in tomorrow's quarter-finals. It's live 2020, round of 16 action in the Continental Cup, live on one play. So we're back ready for more live action here at the 2020 Intercontinental Cup at Dubai Sports City, live on the One Play Sports Network, and a really exciting chance to see Bayern Munich in action once again. They've been oh so impressive all the way through the tournament, unbeaten, scoring goals for fun. Somewhat surprising, but might be a reflection on how good Jef are, who we'll see in our last game, Jef United of Japan. They only came away with a 1-0 draw from Jef yesterday. But by and large, we identified them early on as one of the teams to beat. Strength in depth, goals in them, and it's going to be a big ask for Al-Fatah. But of course, Al-Fatah came away with one of the big shock scorelines of a draw against Arsenal earlier in the tournament, though that has been made to look maybe not so impressive with Arsenal's poor showing subsequently. In their final group games this morning, Al-Fatah were 2-1 winners in somewhat of a shock against the Spanish soccer school A side. And in Bayern Munich's last game, they were 2-0 winners over the Muscat Academy. So Bayern Munich, having been really impressive when we covered them live in that incredible 8-3 win against Al Ali, maybe have gone off the ball a little bit. And contrast that to Porto, have gone in the opposite direction, but they're favourites to win here. It's Bayern in the red, playing from left to right, and an early chance goes to Becking as it goes out for a goal kick. And Al-Fatah playing in the white from right to left. In the penultimate game of our live coverage tonight, we'll be back at 9:30 in the morning Dubai time for the quarter-finals of the Gold Cup. So far, we know that Inter will play Celta at 9:30 tomorrow, and Porto will play Barca at 10:30. We bring you both those games live on One Play tomorrow morning. And who will join them? Will it be Al-Fatah or Bayern Munich to play Real Madrid or Wakataki, who are in action on the adjacent pitch as we watch this? Bayern with a strong move from Tim Binder early on. The ball's going to come to Louis Schaefer. And keep an eye out when you get a chance for number 12, Philippe Chavez. He's one of the most promising players I've seen here so far this week. I'm looking forward to seeing him in action. Here's Emirhan Agzikara. Now Joseph Nasray. Nasray back to Agzikara. And Agzikara looking for the runner, and he's found him. And that's a delightful first touch into the area. Goes down, and it's a penalty, I think, no? Or a free kick on the edge he's given, I think. Tim Binder it was that went tumbling. And it's a free kick right on the edge of the area. And straight away, Joseph Nasri is over this, wanting it. He's being whispered to by Tim Binder. But what an opportunity. You couldn't ask for a free kick in a better position. And Bayern Munich looking to take an early lead here against a four-man wall. Ibrahim may well have something to say for him. There's the option as well to play it short to that player I was telling you about, number 12, Philippe Chavez, who's really impressed me, but I've got a feeling Joseph Nasray is going to go for goal himself here. He's got a cultured left foot, this boy, and it's for a left footer. Up and over, but quite tame inevitably, and Ibrahim gathers safely for Al-Fatah. A reminder, if it does end in a draw this game, it will go straight to a penalty shootout after the two halves of 20 minutes each. And that was a little bit lackadaisical from Bayern Munich. Strength on the ball being shown by Agzikara as the night falls in this glorious Gulf city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. It's been wonderful host for Dubai Sports City for this 2020 edition, the fourth edition of the Intercontinental Cup, where the defending champions Celta Vigo are through to the quarterfinals, so they'll play one of the favourites, Inter Milan, tomorrow, and Porto will play Barca. Bayern Munich hoping to join them here, but they've got some defending to do. Saudi Arabia trying to play something through in Al-Fatah, and go Macau. Oh, that's a good ball through. He could get on the end of this. The first touch is decent. The second one's even better. And the third one is over the bar. Tim Binder with a gilt-edged opportunity to give Bayern the lead. And it goes over. Well, he showed great control. That ball came in at pace. First touch was great. Second touch was delightful. But the finish, he's furious with himself there. Oh, that was great hustle. Great hustle from Tim Binder to keep that in. But Omar Kalau comes away with it. And Bayern's keeper, Tobias Wass, comes out of his area to claim. Here's Tim Binder. Lively start to the game for Binder. Oh, strength on the ball shown by Simon Zols. And that's a nice ball out wide to Tim Binder. Red shirts in the box, queuing up for a cross if it can come. Tim Binder has got a bit of support. Oh, my word, Tim Binder going to the magic box of tricks. Let's have a look at that again if we can. And the shot from Felix Chavez wasn't too far away. Well, let's have a look at that passenger play again. Keep an eye on Tim Binder and the effort from one of the really impressive players in the tournament, Philippe Chavez. Look at Tim Binder here. It's obstructed a little bit by the coach. My word. He thinks he's playing at a testimonial. The boy's only 12. Shot from range for Saudi Arabia's Al-Fatah. And it wasn't far away from Al-Sanok. It was Abdelaziz, I think, who played it in. Here's Agzikara. A giant figure at the back. They've got two big centre-backs, haven't they, in Louis Schaefer and Agzikara. Oh, nice running initially from Magnus Dalipaz, but the final touch was too heavy. Well, maybe not the uncompetitive game we kind of expected, and you can see why Al-Fatah caused Arsenal a few problems. A 1-1 draw in their opening game against Arsenal, and then they beat the Maldives 5-0 before beating Spanish Soccer School A's team 2-1 in a come-from-behind effort earlier on today. That really was an impressive result, probably one of the most impressive results. We've had Al-Wada drawing against Barcelona, we've had Al-Fatah drawing against Arsenal, but in terms of getting a win, you have to say Al-Fatah's win against the Spanish Soccer School arguably up there with the best of them all. Philippe Chavez, well blocked by Al-Sanok. What a delightful venue this is when the floodlights are on. It's glorious. Beautiful evening here in Dubai. Gets a little bit chilly, but I think the players will be grateful for that after a very hot afternoon in the sun playing. Is this Philippe Chavez? Chavez gets it through to Simon Zols. The flag's up, it's offside, it wouldn't have counted. Well, Saudi Arabia are definitely one of the regional powerhouses of football in the Gulf, consistently producing the goods at Asian continental football level. And you can see why these boys may be a little bit behind these Bayern Munich lads in their development, but they've certainly got something about them, as is this boy, Philippe Chavez. Moving it nice in our Bayern Munich. Nasrate gets it to Louis Schaefer. There's a nice mazy run, and it's through, or nearly through, to Philippe Chavez. But they're prepared to come forward in an attack. Trying to run onto that was Al Jaziri, but alive to the threat was Agzikara. Eight minutes gone on, no score. And this looks like being the tightest round of 16 game we've seen so far on one play tonight. Inter beating Al-Wada 5-0. We then had Porto beating Canada 5-1. I'm sure Bayern remain favourites, but Al-Fatah are going to be competitive here. Free kick to Bayern Munich. Tim Binder wants to get on with it. Actually a throw-in. Tim Binder. Strong challenge from Al-Fatah, and it's ended up winning them a throw. Credit where it's due to Abdelaziz. Strong football from the Al-Fatah number 6. Pushing the back it looked like there, but they'll make do with the throw. To be taken by Tim Binder. Back they go to Tobias Wass. And now, Louis Schaefer. Oh, look at Louis Schaefer gliding through them. Can he find the pass now? Sprays it out wide. Philippe Chavez in the area, but the offside flag is up, and that's the third time that Bayern have been caught offside. So credit Al-Fatah for their defensive discipline. They're keeping a high line and making it hard for Bayern Munich to just walk through them. Bayern Munich preparing to introduce Tim Hoffmann. Battling away there was Go Manikel, and he's won the free kick, I think. So this is the chance for Al-Fatah to try and fangle something from a free kick. They've committed 4 bodies forward. 5th one's arriving. Keep an eye out for Al-Shuaishia, who's looking to run into the far post, I think. Oh, the delivery, when it was a cross-come shot on the end, and it's an absolute waste from Al-Fatah. We've talked about this through this afternoon. It's all very well in the group stages when you're winning games 5 and 6-0, but as you get to this business end, some of these set-piece conversions could be the difference between the trophy and a loser's medal, because some of these games are going to be very tight now as we approach tomorrow's quarter-finals. I'd be surprised if Inter Milan, who won 5-0 against Al-Wada earlier, will be winning another game 5-0. Even if they go on to win the trophy, they're going to be involved in some tight games. That was an ambitious cross pass taken for Tim Binder, and off a Al-Fatah player it's found in Binder, getting it through. The flags stay down, and Philippe Chavez denied by good keeping from Ibrahim. So, 11 minutes gone and still no breakthrough here. We're yet to see a goalless first half in the round of 16. Will this be the first match that provides one? Bayern have had the better of it, but Al-Fatah have been competitive. Nasray looking for Binder. Binder did well to keep that in, or did he? No, it's gone out. I didn't think it had gone out either, and I'm right on top of that, but the assistant referee, his decision is the one that counts. Throw-in taken for Al-Fatah, and now the Bayern Munich head coach Raphael Sonweber wanted the decision and got it. Nice play. He looks really composed, doesn't he, Louis Schaefer? Here's Nasray to Schaefer again, and this is where Schaefer's really strong. Those driving runs from inside his own half into enemy territory are really impressive. Double change on the way for Bayern. Coming on is Tim Hoffmann. I think Sejdo Durakov is as well. Keeper should claim that, and does. Al-Fatah, it's to the credit of them and their coaching staff, headed up by head coach Mohamed Afar, that they're not being overwhelmed here at all. Coming out second best, but the scoreline is a fair reflection on the game, really. Bayern haven't done enough yet, really, to justify a lead, even though they've had the better of the possession. Oh, Al-Fatah attack broken down by the referee's decision, which is a free kick to Bayern as the changes are made, and the 2 boys coming on, Hoffmann and Durakov. Replacing Magnus Dalipaz and the very impressive Joseph Nasray. A lovely touch from Philippe Chavez, but again the flag is up. 3rd time down that flank, Bayern Munich have been caught offside. And another decision that Raphael Sonweber doesn't like. Oh, that was no foul according to the referee. Tumbling down was Hassan Boli Mohammed. Back to Tobias Was. Bayern Munich running out of time to take a first half lead here. Just 5 minutes remaining. Lovely touch, Tim Binder, and a sensational challenge. What a tackle that was. And again, really good hustle from Al-Fatah. Philippe Chavez now. Can he make a bit of magic happen? No, he can't. The Al-Fatah defence is really holding firm here. And they'll get a free kick as well. So all of a sudden, bearing in mind we go straight to penalties after the 2 20-minute halves, if you're Al-Fatah, you're watching this and thinking, well, maybe there is a chance we can get a result. Having said that, we have seen games open up dramatically in the second half of these matches. Just 5.5 to go till half time. And that header's gone backwards from Tim Binder. And Al-Fatah get a shot away. And that was a fine effort from Al Jaziri. It was always drifting wide. But you can tell he's got a goal-scoring instinct, that boy. And they do not want to be letting him get in behind them again. It's a warning for Bayern Munich. Look at that. Just always drifting away. But that's the kind of passage of play that indicates a player's got a true instinct for goal. That was a blatant push by Bayern Munich. And the referee's going to want to talk to Louis Schaefer here, I think. Just giving him a friendly warning. So, Al-Fatah, I deliver that one hard and low, and it's intercepted by the man that conceded the free kick, Louis Schaefer, and all of a sudden Simon Zols might be away and in business. Nice play from Simon Zols, but he's pinged for a free kick, and the German bench are furious. They do not like this decision, and like our previous game, it is becoming a little bit stop-start this. Well, it's becoming a little bit... I suppose this will suit Al-Fatah more than Bayern Munich. Do Bayern Munich fancy going down to the lottery of penalties? Still plenty of time to go, but as we approach half-time, if we get halfway through the second half, it starts becoming a possibility. Oh, keeper came and claimed that well, Tobias Was, because that fizzed off the surface that was watered before the round of 16 games started. Unable to keep that in for Bayern Munich, Tim Hoffmann. Neither team able to take this game of the scruff of the neck yet. Philippe Chavez sticks the leg out, and now there's some pace of Bayern Munich, and that was a really important intervention to clear that ball. Great work from Al Sanok. Simon Zols with a flick on. Bayern Munich trying to get it to Philippe Chavez. It's becoming quite congested down that left-hand side, but Bayern do come up with it. Now, can they get the shot away? No, they can't. And Al-Fatah survive another Bayern Munich sortie into their territory. And that's a nice turn as well from Al-Kajani. Fascinating when you see young footballers at this age group, all but 12 years old, facing each other when they come from different parts of the world, different footballing continents and cultures. And as you'd expect, by and large, the Europeans have come out on top. But Al-Fatah are holding their own here, and I have to say, Rafael Sonweber, who's a great chap, the Bayern Munich coach, he's livid with some of these decisions. Last couple of minutes of the first stanza then. Bayern Munich 0, Al-Fatah 0. They're playing for the right to meet Real Madrid or Wakataki in tomorrow's quarterfinals. That game, I believe, may be 0-0 as well. We've not had any updates on the scores there. I'd be surprised if Real Madrid didn't manage to come through that one, but I said that about Bayern Munich. I thought they'd be leading here. I'm being told Real Madrid have taken the lead by a goal to 0. So Madrid leading that one by a goal to 0. They've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals. Bayern Munich need a breakthrough here. They've only got a minute left in the first half to get one. You have to say, on balance, I don't think they've deserved enough to get the lead here. Simon Zols. Al-Fatah defensively have been quite strong, but they might concede a needless corner there. What great work that was by Ibrahim, the goalkeeper, to prevent it, but very nearly got caught off his line. A genius attempt by Simon Zols to catch out the keeper. Now Philippe Chavez goes down, and now after all that, the slice clearance from Al-Fatah means they do concede the corner. So right on half-time, can Bayern Munich make this set-piece count? Some great Bayern Munich support in the stands. Trying to get behind them as trotting over to take it is Tim Hoffman. So Tim Hoffman, keep an eye out for the big figure of Agzikara. Hoffman's corner. It's not the best. The delivery is easily dealt with by the Saudi side. And all the way out of his goal now is Tobias Watts. Tobias Watts is almost on the halfway line. And Tobias Watts is still scrambling back, but they just can't get a shot away. Nice play, looking very composed on the ball there was Al-Kajani. And this is better from the Saudis. Abdulaziz there, managing to almost fashion away a shot. And this game is going to go into the break goalless. Real Madrid leading Wakataki by a 1-0 on the other pitch. But who's going to play Real Madrid if they go through? At the moment, you couldn't be sure. It's goalless here at the break between Al-Fatah and Bayern. Bayern have had plenty of ball, but not really at that cutting edge of the final third. And Al-Fatah deserve all the credit in the world for their defending. And you're seeing reasons why they managed to get a draw with Arsenal earlier on in the tournament. Half-time here, live on One Play in the round of 16 in the Gold Cup at the Intercontinental Cup at the Dubai Sports City. It's Bayern Munich 0, Al-Fatah 0. Stay with us. have to say that Bayern Munich are furious with the referee. Head coach Raphael Sonnenweber, who's a nice chap, is really exasperated. And Bayern Munich had to keep their composure here because they've had enough of the ball. They've just got to find the opening, because once they get one, particularly if Al-Fatah have to start chasing the game, you fancy there might be more goals in it for them. But the problem they've got is, of course, these 20-minute halves mean that the longer it stays goalless, the prospect of penalties looms. There's no extra time in these knockout games. We do, in the semi-final stage, progress to 25 minutes each way. The Gold Cup final, 30 minutes each way. The Silver Cup final, incidentally, 25 each way. And the losers in this game will go there. And they're going to take a strike at goal right from the kickoff. And Tobias Wass is alive to it. But an almighty thud given by Al Jaziri. A bit ambitious, and it wasn't to be. Bayern in defence look so strong, don't they? I mean, they did have that blip when they conceded those bizarre 3 goals in quick succession against Al Ali in that 8-3 win. But by and large, their defences look very solid. And that's run out of play. Frustration over there for, is it Nazray? He looks really composed, this boy, doesn't he? He's a great defender, this Lewis Schaefer. And eventually he does win the free kick. That was good defensive nous from a 12-year-old to work that out. Can see that Nazray is about to come on. And Nazray replaces a rather forlorn-looking Sejdo Dolokhov. Well, one in the air by Al Jaziri. And here they come again. They could be in here, Al-Fatah. Oh, that was a really good clearance from Lewis Schaefer. He's not far off man of the match for me at the moment. And now, all kinds of tangling going on involving Tim Hoffman, who eventually wins the free kick. Raphael Sonnenweber still not happy, even when they're winning the free kicks, Bayern Munich. Frustration just beginning to creep in on the bench. Not sure it's translated onto the pitch, but they want to keep a lid on it. And again, handball against Bayern Munich. They're furious in the dugout. Another free kick to Al-Fatah. They are becoming, well, Raphael Sonnenweber now. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but they're furious, the Germans. Al-Fatah, decent delivery. And the head of Lewis Schaefer only knocks it towards the dead ball line for a corner. Good work in that corner, though. Prevents Al-Fatah being presented with that set piece. And here's Philippe Chavez, the player that impressed most in that opening 8-3 victory. And they're in Bayern Munich, and Tim Hoffman's herring up to try and get on the end of this. Can they put it back to him? Trying to get it across, and the final ball just not good enough from Bayern Munich. Here's Nazray looking for Tim Hoffman, who's offside. And that time he definitely was offside. 3 minutes of the 20 to be played in the second half have elapsed. It's still the mighty Bayern Munich 0, Al-Fatah of Saudi Arabia 0. Al-Fatah have already managed to draw with Arsenal. Are they going to do the same in the knockout stages against Bayern Munich and take us to a penalty shootout? Al-Fatah are also seemingly growing in confidence. If anything, they're being more attack-minded in this second half. But that is giving Bayern Munich some encouragement to try and exploit some gaps that may appear. Tim Binder, what a workhorse he is. And he wins the throw. And Tim Binder, they're not going to let them take it quickly. The referee wants to have a word with both of them. Incredulous on the Bayern Munich bench. Foul throw. We've seen a couple of those. There you see Raphael Sonnenweber nearest to us and his assistant. Not happy with the foul throw. Bayern Munich just need the one goal. And what on earth? The last two games, I must say, I'm not agreeing with Rafael Sonweba, because if there is a foul, the referee's got to call it, but they've been very, very stop-start the last couple of matches. The group stage has flowed really well. I'm wondering whether the referees have been told to tighten up for these knockout games, because we've seen yellow cards, we've seen a red card as well. Dished out to Al-Wada. Here's Simon Zoll. Simon Zoll's trying to create some space, and he was trying to play in Nasre there. Didn't quite work out. Here's Nasre. Goes all the way back to Tobias Was. Well, if Bayern Munich do get a goal, I'm expecting there to be some celebration. We saw Inter get 5, didn't we, and barely celebrate any of them. But I think the relief that will go through Bayern Munich if they can make the breakthrough in the remaining 15 minutes will be palpable. Philippe Chavez, I have to say, still a fan of his, but he's not been as effective here as he was against the lesser lights of Al Ali. Oh, that's a delightful ball, though. Here's Tim Hoffman. And Tim Hoffman manages to get the touch after good defensive work by Al-Sana. And now Ibrahim, the keeper, is down in agony after what was interpreted as a late challenge. There's not going to be any card, I think. But now, of course, you have the problem of the amount of added time that will be played here, because the referees, by and large, haven't been adding all the added time on, and that won't please Bayern Munich either. There was nothing in that from Philippe Chavez. It was unfortunate, an accident, if anything, but he is in some discomfort, Ibrahim. Yeah, so of course, 14 minutes to play here. They're going to introduce Magnus Dalipaz, Bayern Munich. And who's that that's going to make way? Is it Philippe Chavez? Yeah, Philippe Chavez taking a seat. He's worked very hard, been a bit frustrating for him. Ibrahim seemingly is going to be okay to continue as Al-Fatah go long with the goal kick. Simon Zolls. Oh, what a touch from him. Trying to play at Magnus Dalipaz. The fresh legs of Dalipaz. Can he square it and get a touch? He can't, but he can win a corner. Lovely play from Simon Zolls there to release Dalipaz, and Bayern Munich get their first corner of the second half, and they want to play it short to Nasre. Nasre now gets it. Nasre trying to find a teammate, comes to the edge of the box. And Agzikara, a referee playing advantage here to Bayern Munich. Here's Nasre. Nasre finds a man on the edge of the box, and the keeper, Ibrahim, just gets down. And that was Tim Hoffman with the effort on goal, and still they await the breakthrough. Dalipaz, headed by Al-Fatah's Al-Kijani. Now a driving run through the middle from Al-Fatah, and that's a nice first touch as well. He's impressed, hasn't he, Al-Kijani? And Al-Fatah still going, a chance for the Saudi side. Into the area they go, and they have to make do with the corner themselves, but this is impressive from Al-Fatah. Whether you're a fan of the refereeing performance or not, the Saudis have not been intimidated by the mighty Bayern Munich, and they're giving them a proper game here. 12 to go. Al-Fatah with a corner, just their second of the game. Can they make it count? Delivery's not bad, flicked on and across the face of goal. All it needed was a touch from an Al-Fatah player, and Bayern would have had to come from behind. As it is, they've given another corner. So a warning for Bayern Munich. Look at this, across the face. It was off a Bayern Munich head at the near post, and there was no one attacking the 6-yard box from Al-Fatah. This one chipped in, heads are up and headed away by Magnus Dalipaz. And now there's a potential for a break. Ibrahim had to get that spot on, and to his credit, he did. Here's Al-Jassim. And Al-Jassim is pinged for offside. The crowd trying to get behind Bayern Munich to give them some encouragement. The referee wants a free kick taken in the right place. And they try to get it across field now for Louis Schaffer. Simon Zoles, he's looked lively in this second half. Kept in play from Louis Schaffer. Schaffer across the face, comes to Simon Zoles. Still they can't get the shot away. That's good play from Al Jazeera. And Saudi Arabia's Al-Fatah. Al Jazeera gets it back and he goes down. And the referee not interested in the free kick there. So maybe it's 6.5 a dozen of the other. I didn't see Rafael Sonner Weber disputing that decision. I've seen them give it in this game. So it's a tense atmosphere, shall we say, here. 10 minutes to full time, and as it stands, we're heading for our first penalty shootout of this 2010 Intercontinental Cup. But of course, you never want to take the Germans on at penalties, do you? And that's coming from an Englishman saying that. I suppose from Saudi Arabia's perspective, they won't have had too many penalty shootouts with German teams, so they won't be affected by that stigma. Here it comes to Dalipaz. Dalipaz showing great pace to the byline. Dalipaz just left the ball behind, but it's come to the edge of the area. But of all the teams from the Gulf region we've seen, you have to give credit to Al-Fatah. They do look very strong, and it's clear why they managed to take a point off Arsenal in the group stage. But arguably, taking this to penalties would be an even more impressive result. To the edge of the box, the shot scuffed by Nasri. And now Al-Fatah bringing it away with Al Jazeera. Oh, really good anticipation. Really good anticipation from Louis Schaffer. But the final delivery, again, not that good. Had to be spot on with that header and was. Agzikara. This game's starting to open up. If there's a slightly lovely ball from Simon Zoles, it's gone down. And the referee... Is he given the penalty or a dive here? What's he given? What on earth is he given here? He's given the penalty. Well, he conferred with the assistant referee, which was probably the right thing to do. But I thought for a minute he was going to book him for diving. But it looks to me, let's have a look at the replay on this. He took an age, the referee, to make his decision, which was the right thing to do to make sure he was right. And I think there was contact there. You've seen them given. And Bayern have a penalty with 8.5 to play to get them a 1-0 lead in this round of 16 clash. And it'll be Emirhan Agzikara to step up against Ibrahim. So, can Bayern Munich stop it going to penalties by scoring a penalty? Agzikara straight down the middle, and Bayern Munich lead. It's Bayern 1, Al-Fatah 0, and they finally make the breakthrough from the penalty spot. Well, a nervous, edgy game has been opened up now. Agzikara kept his cool, went straight down the middle, sent Ibrahim the wrong way. And now Al-Fatah have to conjure up a goal. And in truth, they've had their moments going forward. That chance on the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, and an effort there, straight from the kickoff that Tobias Watts nearly spilled. Bayern Munich need a second here to kill this game off. Can they get it? Dalipaz has looked good since he's come on. And Dalipaz could be through here. Gets it to Simon Zoles. Simon Zoles makes a space for a shot. Takes it out wide. Here's Tim Binder. Gathered in by Ibrahim. And now panic stations for Al-Fatah as they chase this equaliser. Oh, brilliant work. Unfortunate that was a really good effort from Magnus Dalipaz to keep that in. The throw taken by Al Jassim. And with 6 minutes left, Al-Fatah now need to make something happen. They've given a really good account of themselves. Been a credit to Saudi Arabian football, Al-Fatah here. But are they about to exit the Gold Cup and go into the silver? And a Bayern Munich on the way to a date with Real Madrid. in the Bronze Cup. Muscat Academy leading ZED by a 1-0. We believe it's still 1-0 to Real Madrid in that Wakataki game. So as it stands, what about this for a quarter-final lineup? Worthy of a Champions League quarter-final lineup. Inter Milan, Celta Vigo, Porto, Barca. And if it stays as it is in the two games currently taking place, it'll be Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. All of those games live on One Play tomorrow from 9:30 in the morning. Make sure you join us for those 9:30 Dubai time tomorrow morning. You can enjoy them live on the One Play Facebook page. Nasri, Bayern Munich now, I think relaxed a little bit by that goal. And Joseph Nasri's really impressed in the middle of the park, as is this man at the back, the scorer of the penalty, Emirhan Agisar. Oh, there's the deciding goal. Lovely finish from Tim Hoffman after great build-up play from the scorer of the penalty, Emirhan Agisar. And that will surely book Bayern's place in the quarters. And now Al-Fatah are not happy. And the referee having to protect the assistant referee from complaints that was offside. Lovely finish, though, from Tim Hoffman. And again, this tactic of taking shots from the kickoff. Where they finally stamped their authority on this game, Bayern Munich. It took them a while, best part of half an hour to open the scoring, but now at 2-0, there's surely no way back for the Saudis, although they're managing to get something going here through Al Jassim. But Bayern now have a 2-on-2. That's a great first-time ball. The 1-2's on. Can he finish? Good save, Ibrahim. That would have been a delightful goal. Magnus Dalipaz, his industry in the second half, deserves a score. And Ibrahim keeps the scoreline respectable at 2-0. Look at this for a beautiful passage of play, and Ibrahim did well, really well. Just 3 minutes to go now, Bayern leading 2-0. And Bayern versus Real Madrid awaits tomorrow morning at 11:30. Now, herring down the right flank, can Al-Fatah make the last couple of minutes nervy? Not with nobody in the penalty area, they can't. Here's Dalipaz. Oh, Dalipaz nearly clipped. Oh, nearly managed to find a ball through to Tim Hoffman, who's now chasing his second. And that's going to be a free kick to Al-Fatah and a yellow card as well. Just awaiting confirmation of who was shown the yellow there. Might have been Tim Siebold. We'll check that. No, it wasn't Tim Siebold, it was Dennis Offley who was shown yellow for Bayern Munich, who now clear, and look at this. Oh, look at that audacious flick over the top. And this game now is over as a contest. They're not going to score twice in the remaining 2 minutes. Al-Fatah and Bayern Munich, well, they huffed and they puffed for a while, but they finally did blow down the Al-Fatah house. Young Ibrahim and the Al-Fatah goals made some great saves, but I think on balance you have to say it's the right result. And there could still be a third goal in it. Tim Hoffman trying to play in Dennis Offley. Dennis Offley battling over on that far side. And now there'll be a free kick for Al-Fatah. Final whistle's gone over on the main pitch, where we assume Real Madrid have gone through. We await confirmation. We've still got 60 seconds to play here. Another free kick. It's getting niggly late on here. Al-Fatah getting frustrated themselves and maybe overreacting to a couple of challenges. Al-Fatah now having to throw everybody forward to try and make the last couple of minutes exciting. And that will be easy for Tobias Was. And it really should be that now. Just waiting for our official from the UAE FA. to blow his full-time whistle. A reminder, still one game to come. Japan's Jef United have impressed many and are being considered as dark horses to go through to the final here. They take on the Italians who are runners-up in last year's Silver Cup, Levante Azzurro. That's coming up in around about 15 minutes' time here as we approach 7:15 in the evening Dubai time. And a reminder, the quarterfinals live on the One Play Facebook page tomorrow from 9:30 in the morning Dubai time. Here's Lewis Schaefer, man of the match for me. Been really composed at the back and made things happen moving forward. And that's a beautiful cross picked out of the air by Ibrahim. As we are now very nearly into time added on for stoppages, as we are up and over the 40-minute mark. And this will be the last chance for Al-Fatah to grab a consolation before they head to the Silver Cup. And a great save, Tobias Was. Lovely passage of play from Al-Fatah, and Tobias Was keeps Bayern's clean sheet intact. And Bayern Munich will join Inter Milan, Celta Vigo, Porto and Barcelona in the quarter-finals of the 2010 Intercontinental Cup. We await confirmation of the Real Madrid score to see if they got through past Wakataki, which they did by 2-0. So how about this for a mouth-watering prospect? 11:30 tomorrow morning, live on One Play. It's Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. At 9:30 tomorrow morning, Dubai time, Inter Milan against Celta Vigo. At 10:30, it'll be Porto against Barcelona. 3 cracking games and 1 quarter-final lineup still to be decided. It'll be the Spanish soccer school A or B team when they meet in a minute on our adjacent pitch, taking on the winners of the game you'll enjoy with us on One Play in about 10 minutes' time, as Japan's Jef United, a team to look out for, take on the Italian hard cases of Levante Azzurro. That's coming up next live on One Play.
The final game that we're bringing to you live as part of our coverage on One Play Sports will feature Jef United taking on Levante Azzurro of Italy. Jef United, of course, finished first in Group F with a very impressive set of performances. The first game finishing 5-0 against Muscat FC. The second game was a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich. Again, a very impressive result given the fact that they were up against the German giants. And then they rounded off their group results with a 5-0 win over Shabab Al-Ali of Dubai. Levante Azzurro got off to a good start in the group stages, winning the first encounter 2-0 against ZFC, but then drawing against Al-Wada 1-1, who were, of course, very impressive in the group stages. They drew against FC Barcelona as well, 1-1. And then Levante ended up losing their last encounter of the group stages against Barcelona by 1-0. As a result of which, they finished third in Group B. Remember, the winner of this matchup will remain in the Gold Cup and qualify for the quarterfinals, whereas the loser moves on to the Silver Cup. Both sets of players out on the field now. Jef United posing for the pre-match photographs. We're all set to get underway in just a couple of minutes. Most would have predicted Bayern to have finished first in Group F, but it was Jef United who pipped Bayern Munich on goal difference to finish top of Group F. Levante Azzurro coached by Rafael and Miguel Barrio, who's the head coach of Jef United. The winner of this encounter will face the winner of the local derby that's taking place concurrently between Spanish Soccer Schools A and Spanish Soccer Schools B. And that should be a mouth-watering clash. Levante certainly extremely pumped up before this encounter. Both teams now done with their respective pre-match team talks. We're ready to get underway. Jef United in possession. Good pass down the left-hand side. Cross comes in, but a cross overhit. Slightly wavered. Nicolo with the ball. Plays that forward. Down the middle of the pitch. But straight to the Jef United defender. A powerful run there on the right-hand flank. Wins a free kick for his team in the process. Looks like he will whip this one in, which he does. Powerful curler, but headed out of danger by Levante. Haruyu with the throw-in. Haruyu with the ball again. Long throw-in. Finds his man. Well controlled. Trying to wriggle his way past three players, but he was blocked in the process. And Jef United have the ball with them again. Levante winning the ball back in their own half. Playing out from the back. Jef United so far have been extremely compact in defence. Not too many give Jef United a chance to finish top of Group F, but they've certainly surprised everyone. Let's see if they can continue their impressive run in this tournament so far. But Levante with the ball currently. Tries to cross that in. Ricochets off the Jef United defender. Cleared away powerfully. Jef United with a chance to counter now. Marching forward down the right-hand flank. Cross comes in. Slightly weak effort. Ball back in the middle of the pitch with Jef United, who certainly have most of the possession in these early exchanges. Rento now to take this throw in. Rento with the ball back. Ball out of play, throw in for Levante. Long throw in. Well controlled, good pass to find his man in the middle of the pitch with quite some space. Strong run down the right hand side. Can he cross it? Offside deemed by the linesman. Jef United now with the ball but losing it. Well cleared by the Levante defender. Levante now slowly but surely finding their rhythm after it was Jef United bossing possession in the first few minutes. Long kick forward. The striker there was nearly in, but the ball there had a bit too much pace. Well controlled by the striker. He was pulled there in the process and wins his side a free kick. In a fairly dangerous position, I must say. Chiulia there, lining up to take this one. Chiulia it is, goes for the shot, narrowly wide. From this angle it seemed that it was going in, but it was narrowly wide of the post. Brilliant effort there from Chiulia. As you can see the replay there. Powerful shot. It was kept low, but kept low deliberately and narrowly wide off the post. Jef United now trying to regain the momentum that they had in the first few minutes of this encounter. Giardino from Levante has been fairly busy in this game so far. We've seen a couple of brilliant touches from him already. Kiyu to take the throw in. Finds his teammate. It will be a goal kick. I beg your pardon. That's a throw-in for Jef United. A corner, actually. Haruyu steps up to take this corner. Players lining up on the edge of the box. Players making runs. Haruyu takes that. There was a bit of pushing and shoving in the box, but the referee thought it was innocuous and no penalty given. Free kick taken quickly. That's a chance, but miss-hit by Eo. Not where he had intended to hit that. And you could say that will go down as a half chance for Jef United. Rento weighing his options as he prepares to take this free kick. Whips that ball in. Some nice curve, but it was slightly overhit and wasn't able to find his intended target there. Levante with the ball now. Corner for Levante. Giuliani it will be to take this corner, it seems. Corner taken. Finds the striker. Oh, is that an own goal? That's an own goal. The ball reached the striker who was at the far post. He went for the shot from an extremely tight angle, but hit the Jef United defender and went straight in. As you can see from the replay here, a powerful shot. The defender had absolutely no time to react. Ricocheted off of him inside the back of the net. It is Levante 1, Jef United 0. You can see Rafael extremely animated on the sidelines, the coach of Levante Azzurro. Certainly not exhibiting too much happiness despite the fact that his team has taken the lead in this encounter. Haruyu with the throw-in. Does land up with his teammate. Haruyu with the ball again. Haruyu with that cross. Shot taken from the edge of the box. And Levante have the ball back with them. Quick pass to the striker. No foul, the referee thinks. Good ball. Haruyu. Haruyu with the ball again. Passes it back to his teammate. Was looking for support as he was going forward. Didn't find any. And so he had to revert back. But does maintain possession. A chance might open up for Jef United there. Tight angle. The angle too tight for the shot. but he didn't have any other option as there was no support available for him in the box as he was taking that shot. Levante with the ball now. Giardino, Levante striker, has been extremely busy in this first half so far. Some impeccable touches, and he was responsible for that first goal. Of course, it was his shot that resulted in the own goal. His shot, of course, being deflected into the goal by the Jef United defender. And it was the power of the shot that gave the defender absolutely no time to react to clear that ball away, as a result of which he had no clue that the ball was coming towards him. Corner for Jef United. Straight at the goalkeeper. The goalie fumbled there, so chance might open up for Jef United. But Levante just doing enough to thwart any danger. Long throw in taken by Levante. Giardino, his control letting him down to some extent there. And Jef have the ball back. But ball won back by Levante. In the middle of the pitch, a good tackle there. Jef, they're marching forward, winning his team a free kick in the process, much to the agony and chagrin of the Levante players, who certainly felt that that was not worthy of a foul. Q, the number 7, stepping up to take this free kick. Q takes a shot. Q with a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal that seemed to have gone through the wall, but it was brilliantly placed. Took a bounce in front of the goalie, which made it even harder for the goalkeeper. And Jef United have now restored parity in this game. And it's all square now in this encounter. Jef United back in it. It's one apiece, all to play for. Giardino with the ball. Good control by him. Passes it to his teammate. Substitution for Jef United. EO coming off. Giardino does well to get the cross in, but there was no support in the box. Jef with the ball now. Powerful run down the right hand flank. Can he cross it? Cross it. He does, but not quite the with the accuracy that he had intended. Levante with the ball. It's been really open these last 5 minutes. It's been end-to-end action in this encounter, and it's one apiece. Jef United with the ball, building up an attack. A through ball attempted, but it was way too powerful to control there for the striker. Free kick for Levante in a very threatening area. Chiulia lining up for this. It's a short free kick. You have to say that was a drill straight from the training ground. But ultimately, the danger was averted. But the drill coming straight from the training ground. Two Levante players there at the corner flag. And three of the teammates await them on the edge of the box, who will make an attacking run inside the box. He did get a flick to it. I think it came off a Levante player. No. And a throw in for Jef United. That headed flick there, a bit too fine. But a well-worked corner. Jef United with the ball there. There was a player coming in on the left-hand side who had acres of space, who probably would have been the better option there. But the player with the ball ultimately did choose to take the shot. An ambitious attempt, to say the least. A tussle in the middle of the pitch. But Jef have the ball back with them. Throw in for Levante. Long throw in. Giardino with the ball. Intercepted by Jef United, who have a chance to counter here. Henry takes the throw in quickly. Giardino with the ball. His control letting him down to some extent. It's half time. At the break, it is 1 apiece. Levante taking the lead, but Jef United equalizing through a brilliant free kick towards the dying exchanges of the first half. At halftime it stands Levante 1, Jef United 1. Both sets of players now onto the pitch for the resumption of play in the second half. Remember, it's Levante 1, Jef United 1. In the other game that's taking place concurrently, it is Spanish Soccer Schools A leading 1-0 at half-time. Levante to commence proceedings for us in the second half. Strong run from Giuliani down the left-hand side. The ball seemed to have gone out of play, but the referee didn't think so. Levante with the ball. Giuliani waits off the pressure there from the Jef United player. Good ball, finds Giordano. Giordano could score. Narrowly wide. Did brilliantly to control that. And despite the pressure coming from the two Jef United defenders, did manage to get his shot in, but the shot was narrowly wide. But good chance there for Levante. Promising signs from them early on in the second half. Siriano back to his goalkeeper. As you can see the replay there. Had the ball throughout despite the pressure from the two players. Throw in for Jef United. Levante with the ball in a dangerous area. Shot taken from the edge of the box, but he just lost his footing there as he was taking the shot. And ultimately the ball goes out for a goal kick. Long goal kick taken. Good turn there on the left-hand side. Will be Siriano to chase that, who passes it back to his goalkeeper. Short pass by the goalie. Lost the ball there as he was trying to wriggle past the Jef United player. And Jef have the ball back. Pass under hit, intercepted by Levante. It could be a chance opening up, and a chance for Levante, but a nice save by the goalkeeper. Ultimately the shot lacking the venom that it needed, but a clear-cut opening there for Levante. They could and perhaps should have regained the lead with that chance. But they are pressing forward again. Giuliani with the ball. Wriggles past one. Has a chance to cross it. But defended well by Jef United. A corner for Levante. Will be Nicolo Denati, I believe, to take this corner. Or at least he's one of the two Levante players at the corner flag. Nicolo Denati takes the corner in. Dangerous corner. You could see one Levante player leaping up, and he missed the ball as he was trying to head it. And ultimately any danger that could have stemmed from that corner was cleared away by Jef United. Jef United have found it slightly hard to keep possession in the second half so far. It's been all Levante. Foul committed by Giordano, which, as far as I can recall, has been his only blemish in this game so far. Had a spectacular first half and had their opening in the second half as well. Two fouls now committed by Giordano in quick succession. And that second foul does result in a yellow card for Giordano. Levante with some space to work with. Powerful run down the middle of the field at express pace, but the ball intercepted in the nick of time by Jef United. Jef now with a chance, with an opening, crosses that in. Misses the first player, but Jef still have the ball with them. And the shot taken from the tight angle, going wide, may have taken a deflection off of a Levante player. Will be a corner for Jef United. Corner whipped in. Dangerous. There was a Jef United player at the end of it, but he lost his balance as he was trying to take the shot. And ultimately, the chance came to nothing. It's been high tempo so far in the second half. Jef pressing on. Brilliant cross in. And there was a striker at the end of it. But the ball had way too much power and the striker couldn't quite control the ball that came in. Jef now looking to march on. Good ball. The keeper coming out for it. But the keeper seems to have handled the ball outside the box. So it will be a free kick for Jef United, as the keeper handled that outside of his area. Oh, powerful shot and an equally good save from the goalkeeper. Levante now with the ball. This could be a chance to break. It's 2v2. but weak effort in the end. Neither a cross nor a shot. You have to say that goes down as a chance squandered by Levante, who did find themselves in a 2v2 situation. But chance that goes begging. Giardino with the ball now, controls it well, but miss pass. And Jef with the ball again in a 2v2 situation. It's really opened up for Jef United. Brilliant shot and a brilliant save there from the goalkeeper. Struck powerfully, but the goalkeeper equal to the task. Brilliant shot from the edge of the box and a brilliant save there. And he did well to get back up really quickly after diving for that effort. Turns well. Tried to get the cross in and goes out for a corner for Jef United. We've concluded 30 minutes of play in this encounter. It still stands 1 apiece. Both teams looking to break the deadlock here. It's been an exciting, entertaining contest so far. The referee there, getting a bit of the action. The ball will be stopped, and it will be Levante to resume play for us. He was looking to find Giordano there, but overhit. Long goal kick taken. Does find his intended man. But the ball goes out for a goal kick for Levante, who will resume play from the back. Substitution for Levante. Caladurulo coming in. Bianchi coming off. Giardino with the ball. Control that well, but his pass letting him down there. And Jef have the ball back. Good ball played forward, skips past one. Inside the box, gets the shot, but straight at the goalkeeper. Giuliano wins aside a corner after a powerful run on the left-hand side. We've certainly seen him bombing down the left-hand flank on multiple occasions in this encounter so far. He's been a constant threat on the left. And not the first time today that he's won his side a corner. Nice corner. Giardino did get his head to it, but his header not quite on target. You could say that the ball was slightly over him. Had it been about 1 foot below, would have been the perfect height for him to get the header onto that one. Neat footwork there. And Jef have the ball on the edge of the box. But Levante putting good pressure that prevented Jef from getting the cross in. Just over 5 minutes left in this matchup. Still stands Levante 1, Jef United 1. We're seeing a string of substitutions now for Jef United. Let's see if those fresh legs can inject some energy as we approach the final 4 minutes in this game. Giardino. Not quite being able to get at the end of it. And the ball with the goalkeeper of Jef United, who kicks that forward powerfully. Brilliant touch there, brilliant touch and control. But not quite finding the man that he was looking for. It was Rento there with that touch. Skillfully taken down, but he wasn't quite able to find the striker. Levante with the ball. Marlanti losing the ball. A chance might open up for Jef United, but he's forced wide. Free kick for Jef United. We've entered the final 3 minutes of this matchup. Kiyu, the Japanese number 7, has certainly stamped his authority in this game. Has been extremely impressive for his side, making run after run on the right-hand flank. It's been a constant threat, but a threat that Levante have done well to extinguish. Free kick taken in. Chance, goes for the shot, but a shot that's wide. Looks like it will be another substitution, this time for Levante. But the substitution will have to wait as the ball's still in play. Jef now with the ball. Good exchange on the left-hand side. Jef still with the ball. Cleared away by Levante. Throw in for Jef United. Good turn there. Good shot. And the goalie did well to come down and save that. Does well to keep that in play. Kiyu again, who's had a tremendous game. Rento with a short throw in to Kiyu. Kiyu now comes inside. Kiyu with a good run. And that run resulting in a corner for Jef United. Just about a minute left on the clock. And this might just be Jef United's last chance to nick this encounter. Corner taken in. Cleared by the defender. Jef with the ball again. Goal kick for Levante. We are in the final few seconds of play in this matchup. A chance for Jef United. Hits the post, and that certainly would have been game, set and match had that gone in, but just whiskers away from nicking that encounter. Mightily unlucky for Jef United. Q miss passes uncharacteristically, and this might open up for Levante in a good save. We've seen two glorious chances for both sides. As you can see, the first chance for Jef United hitting the post, and then Levante at the other end with their glorious chance as well. That was well saved by the Jef United goalkeeper. And that should be that. The referee was taking a look at his watch. Goal kick taken, but he still hasn't blown his whistle. Jef United with the ball. Levante now. Could this be their final chance? Ball launched forward. And the referee has blown his whistle. It has finished 1-1 in regulation time. It will go to penalties. 5 penalties each, as 40 minutes wasn't enough to break the deadlock in this encounter. Final score after the regulation 40 minutes: Levante 1, Jef United 1. Penalties it is. It will be Jef United to take the first penalty in the shootout. The referee blows his whistle. Scored. Was low, accurately hit in the bottom corner. So Jef United score from their first kick. Let's see if Levante can now match that effort. Julani it will be. Stepping up to take this penalty. Saved brilliantly. Down to the goalkeeper's right. Brilliantly saved. Got a powerful fist to it. Advantage Jef United in the shootout. Scored by Jef United. By the talisman Kiyu, who's been impressive all throughout this matchup. Nicola Spinelli stepping up. Shoots and scores. Comfortable, that one. So Levante is still very much in this penalty shootout. Let's see if Jef can make it 3 out of 3. Shot taken and shot scored. The keeper went the wrong way. And EU scoring his side's third penalty. It's Jef United 3, Levante 1, but of course Levante are yet to take the third penalty. Powerful effort, hit high, hit powerfully. The goalkeeper went the right way, but the shot there ultimately had too much power. It's Levante 2, Jef United 3. As Jef United prepared to take the fourth penalty. Niva to take this one. And Niva hits that wide. The goalkeeper stood rooted there. Niva hitting that effort wide. So Levante back in it. And Levante score. So it's all square in the penalty shootout after 4 kicks. Each team having scored 3 penalties, having missed 1. Jef United. Penalty saved by the goalkeeper. Advantage Levante now. If Levante score, they qualify and they remain in the Gold Cup. It will be Giardino who has a chance to win it for his side. Giardino scores! And that's game, set, match. Levante win this shootout in dramatic fashion. They were the first ones to miss in the shootout, but then Jef United missing 2 penalties consecutively, which gave Levante a chance to come back, and come back they did. And Giardino there sealing the deal for his side with the 5th kick, scoring, and Levante now winning this penalty shootout. But it's not over as yet for Jef United, who now qualify for the Silver Cup, which will be taking place tomorrow. Levante, of course, remain in the Gold Cup. And they will be facing the winner of Spanish Soccer Schools A and Spanish Soccer Schools B. I'm still awaiting confirmation of the result of that encounter. And it seems as if Spanish Soccer Schools A were triumphant in the local derby there. So it will be Levante taking on Spanish Soccer Schools A tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. local time. And Jef United, as I mentioned, qualify for the Silver Cup. Finished here 1-1 after regulation time, and then Levante winning this encounter through a penalty shootout. And you can see animated celebrations there from the Levante camp, who are delirious with joy after this win. Yeah. Thank you for joining us again for this evening session. We commence proceedings tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. with a cracker of a contest. Inter Milan taking on Celta Vigo. We have the final set of matches that will take place tomorrow, and of course towards the end we will see the crowning of the winners of the gold, silver and bronze leagues. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow live on One Play Sports.